Welcome back, y'all, to episode 2 of the Yap Sesh. We back outside on the truck with the trailer, and today's topic is pretty much just that there's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect time to pretty much do anything. Start a business, do something hard, go for that one thing. Everybody's going to tell you. I've heard it all over that there's not going to be a perfect time, but truly, if you think, oh, next week, tomorrow will be a better time for me to do whatever, I'm telling you, there's a good chance it's really not. The best time to start anything is now. And I've heard this from older people, younger people, especially with investing and whatnot. They always say the best time to start investing is now, because obviously, compound growth, the longer you have your money in the stock market, whatever, it grows more. But it's that way for businesses and everything like that. I mean, if I would have asked anybody, I'm gonna do this Christmas light thing, I'm gonna buy a house at 18, they would have said I was crazy. There's no way you can do that. How are you gonna do that during football season? And really, it was just God's timing. He pretty much, everything worked out the way He intended to. I mean, whenever I broke my arm and I'm sitting in the hospital, I'm like, how can something like this happen? How can this happen to me? And looking back on it, had I not broken my arm, I would have not had all the school days off to be able to go and do Christmas lights. For breaking my arm allowed me to buy a house at 18. And I mean, that's just God's will. And, He has a plan for your life. And you never really know what that plan is going to be. I sure didn't know that, I'm going to be doing this full time. I mean, my whole life, it had revolved around football, and football was my identity. That's pretty much what my identity was. Oh, Zach, what is he? He's a football player. Zach, what do you like to do? I like to play football. I like to lift. And now, those things are great, don't get me wrong. I still really love football, and I still really love lifting, but that's not who I am. Who I am is a servant for God. I'm trying to spread God's word. That's my purpose. My purpose is to better the people around me, show them to God, and just take care of my wife. And really, that's what has given me the most joy and happiness in my entire life is having a true purpose and not having my identity in these things that really don't matter. Like football, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter that much. Lifting, it really doesn't matter that much. Now, I do obviously still really enjoy those things. And I mean, lifting is a big part of what I do and all that stuff, but it's not who I am. And I'm not the business. That's not who I am. Even if all this got stripped away, I'd obviously be sad, but it's not who I am. I can obviously recover from that. Now, in your life, if you're you kind of feel this way, like, oh, if this one thing was taken away from me, how would I feel? You'd probably feel pretty bad, but that's normal. But would your identity be stripped away? And so that's just really what I encourage you all to do. Don't have your identity in things that inevitably don't matter very much. Because, yeah, my whole childhood, I've been playing football since I was, 5 or 6 years old, and that's what my identity was in. And that's not a healthy thing. And Zach being the football player, that's not good. That's not what God called me to do. God did not say, I put you, Zach, on this earth to be a football player. That's all you're supposed to do. No, you're supposed to spread God's word, better the people around you, and really just lead people to Him. So that's what I encourage you to do. Make sure that your identity is not in things that don't matter. Make sure your identity is who you are and what you're called to do. And I encourage you, just pray and ask God, what is He calling you to do? So, I mean, one of my buddies, he thought that, it was just the universe. And a couple of my buddies, I wouldn't have really thought about them in high school as, Christian or whatever typical thing you might call it. But they've both had very real encounters with God. And, I'm telling you, it is real. And they've had these encounters, and they're now both Christ followers. And so it's just something super special that, you really can't replicate that. It's super special whenever you're talking to somebody and they it's almost like a light bulb moment. Or you talk to them after they've had this encounter and they're just, so much happier that you remember them. You can't remember them being maybe a little bit critical or something like that, but they're really like the happiest people you've ever met. And I mean, I had that encounter, a few years ago. I was probably sophomore, maybe junior in high school. I think I was a sophomore, and pretty much all I've been chasing was like girls. That's all I was interested in. I was interested in having a girlfriend, and that's really that's all I was. Like whenever it was like I was nothing, and I just wanted to have a relationship with somebody just to have a relationship with somebody. And that really wasn't it. So that summer between my sophomore and junior year, I'd been single or whatever, and I really asked God. I was like, I don't want just to have it. I don't just want another girlfriend. Like I'm okay being single for the rest of my life if that's what you've called me to do. But I want the next person that I date to be my forever person. And lo and behold, later that summer, right before my junior year, I meet my wife, and it was almost like a click. Like literally, we had been friends before, but we literally just clicked like that. And right out of high school, we get married. So I just encourage you to listen to God, follow what God is doing you, and don't have your identity in things that don't matter. Appreciate y'all watching episode 2.